Majority was like these gaming YouTubers, and then these Minecrafty gaming YouTubers, and then there was the FIFA YouTubers with KSI, stuff like that. And I'd have to say, right, I got into those YouTubers like in 2013, 2014. I think I got into PewDiePie. I think I got into PewDiePie around 2015 or 16, because I actually remember, right.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the James Ramblin' Show, coming at you live on Friday night. Tonight's your host, James Bay.
Hello, welcome back to the James Ramblin' Show. Yet another episode, yet another week, live on Friday night. I did that review for Prey, which, as this is coming out, it'll probably be a week after it came out. I haven't done the reviews in a little while, so I'm continuing the technology saga with this, because I did with my thoughts on phone brands. I did the odd experiences I had on the internet and stuff like that. So let's just segue into this episode here. I'm a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos. You probably know a bunch of people who make videos. You have Team TMS, you have all of those guys making all of those videos. Yes, that is correct. We will be discussing YouTubers that I've actually been into. It's basically just going to be my taste in YouTubers, and it connects to the technology saga because it's to do with the internet and all that technology stuff like that. So I'll go through some YouTubers I've been into, and I'll explain how I just got really into them and stuff like that. So the YouTubers I have gotten into, the elephant in the room is kind of like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, at one point Mr. Beast, KSI, Dan TDM, iSquid. That's the Minecraft YouTubers like iSquid Plays or whatever that guy, Stampy Longlegs. There's a lot of YouTubers, Blitzwinger, W2S, the Sidemen guys like KSI's part of that and stuff. That's kind of the YouTube. Those are some of the YouTubers, and then there's other YouTubers. I had the anime YouTubers, of course. Man, there is a lot of YouTubers that I have been into. I can't really remember what my very, very, very first YouTuber was, because as I just mentioned there, right, I've been into a lot of YouTubers over the course of my entire time on YouTube, even before I made YouTube videos myself. And of course, I'm probably be inspired by some YouTubers out there, and there is definitely some podcasts that I watch on YouTube. But yeah, so the first YouTuber I actually will go into though is like PewDiePie, right? He's that guy. He's that Swedish guy who does all of those videos. I remember watching his videos a lot, right? It was like his gaming videos about The Walking Dead. From that to his Lamau. Oh no, it was Lamau. It was that series. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like this series where he goes through all of this stuff on his subreddit, all these funny things. You Laugh, You Lose was one of them. He did a lot of that stuff. I remember just watching him back and forth. I watched Jacksepticeye back and forth as well. I watched those YouTubers a lot. I have watched those. I watched them. Like, those were the two YouTubers I watched a lot. I mean, actually, there's also Moist Critical, but there is a lot of YouTubers, right? So PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye is sort of the YouTubers I really liked, and then there was the Minecraft YouTubers. Going to the Minecraft YouTubers, right, I used to watch them a lot. Like, I just love those YouTubers. Like, it's like that stuff like, what is up, guys? Today we're gonna be playing Minecraft, and today I have my friends Stubby Longlegs, and it was like that kind of thing. So it was really like that kind of YouTube style where they would get all that, do that sort of intro, and then they would talk about things, or they would just play games with this Minecraft games. Majority was like these gaming YouTubers, and then these Minecrafty gaming YouTubers, and then there was the FIFA YouTubers with KSI, stuff like that. And I'd have to say, right, I got into those YouTubers like in 2013, 2014. I think I got into PewDiePie. I think I got into PewDiePie around 2015 or 16, because I actually remember this thing, right, where PewDiePie had gained like 50 million subscribers, and I was so excited. And I remember actually, that whole T-Series vs PewDiePie situation where they had this big giant YouTuber subscriber war thing. I remember watching that like a lot. That was like insane. I was going through the motions, right? I was just keep on watching this thing, and it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy how I actually watched PewDiePie a lot. So there is definitely that Jacksepticeye PewDiePie sort of stuff. So there is that. Right, I think there is actually a lot of YouTubers, right? And yeah, there's definitely a lot of YouTubers that I watched. Is there any YouTubers that I don't like? Well, that's like a hard, like there is a few YouTubers that I don't like there was Logan Paul and Jake Paul and those guys, right? That I think I watched them at one point, or maybe I didn't, and then there was that whole thing with the Japanese Suicide Force and Logan Paul, and then that kind of just made me stop watching him. And then he did that podcast stuff, and I was never real. I don't think I was as into Logan Paul or the Paul brothers as much as KSI, PewDiePie. You see that rhyme there, KSI, PewDiePie. I was never into. Definitely, I don't think I was as into Logan Paul and Jake Paul as much as like KSI, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, and those kind of YouTubers. I do, as you can tell, I'm into YouTubers that actually the big famous YouTubers. I'm not into any like I want to say I'm not into any like really small YouTubers. Now I mentioned Team TMS, who is a like kind of a small YouTuber compared to these YouTubers, because obviously PewDiePie has 100 million subscribers, Jacksepticeye has 30 million subscribers, like that kind of thing. Oh, there is Markiplier, but yeah, Team TMS has about 700 subscribers, which is insane. I only have about 60 subscribers right now, but yeah, that is insane how you have these big YouTubers, right, and then you just have TMS with about 700 subs and stuff like that. So that's like, you get the gist of my taste in YouTubers. There is a lot of YouTubers that I like, and I've said that a few times, but there's actually there's actually a category of YouTubers that I really, really love, right? Because I've already mentioned a few. Before I get into that section I'm about to mention, is like, I actually don't usually watch any of those YouTubers as much as I used to. However, I did rewatch some videos of KSI recently, and it brought back so many memories. It really did. It really did. So to get to that section, right? So there's this one section of YouTube that I got into a lot. I've gotten into a lot of commentary channels, right? These commentators, they talk about a topic, basically me personified and just like exetrified and just expanded, right? So they just talk about a topic. It's kind of like a podcast, I guess. So there's Count Dankula. Mentioned him. I actually mentioned his court case in an earlier episode. So Count Dankula, Isaac Butterfield, he does a podcast as well, right? Quartering is a YouTuber that I actually got into last year, because I did get into him early 2021, but then I got into him like a lot last year. Like, I watched his videos a lot. Basically, for those who don't know, the Quartering is this YouTuber who talks about a few things, right? He talks about, he sort of talks about like, he talks about these things happening in the media, like social media stuff. He's like one of those channels where they talk about a social media drama. There's that, and then he talks about video games. He sort of is like one of those woke bad YouTubers where he talks about some anti-woke stuff as well. He does that. He definitely does talk about that. Count Dankula, he does the Mad Lad series. He talks about like these crazy people that throughout history on the internet, those kind of things. And he's also done the Celtic myths, and he has another channel, Celtic myths, about these Celtic legends and the Celtic mythology kind of thing. And he has the other channel about the newsy stuff. So it's kind of like Quartering, where he talks about a news topic it's like the Quartering, but just a Scottish guy with a big beard, without glasses and stuff. So, I mean, the Quartering doesn't always wear glasses, and the Quartering is actually a guy that got a lot of backlash. They've had a lot of backlash, some of these YouTubers, and those are the kind of things that I don't really like. I don't like it when YouTubers get into drama. Like, it frustrates me. It really frustrates me when that happens. So there definitely is that. Actually, when I speak of Quartering, right, there's a whole H3H3 thing. I mean, Quartering going back to back, and I remember when the H3H3 made this video where he basically did a podcast sort of thing talking about Quartering, and what he did was he just exposed him, and it was really cringy, right? I didn't mind H3H3. Then the guy sort of lost his way, and he was just saying, "Oh, John Peterson is the gateway to the alright." He's one of those YouTubers. He's a podcaster now, but he actually used to be before he became a podcaster, right? He was actually a YouTuber. He was a YouTuber that just talked. I think he talked about anti-SJW stuff like that. So yeah. There's also wait, I just completely forgot this. Right, Keemstar was actually a guy. He was at this bearded commentator, right? And he talked about he was talking about like he does all that drama alert. He's one of those YouTubers talking about drama, right? And I don't think a lot of people like that. They talk about drama, so yeah. See, there is definitely a lot of YouTubers that I've seen, right, where they talk about this topic, and I think Isaac Butterfield, this Australian guy, they're basically, right, these people, they just talk about these topics, right, that's basically the gist of this sort of segment. They talk about this one topic, or a few topics, and that's the sort of gist. Like, a lot of people do that. It's became really, really popular, where people just talk about a lot of things so often. So there is definitely that. So earlier in the episode, I believe I mentioned Blitzwinger. So for those who don't know, this is a Canadian Ukrainian guy, right? He was born in Ukraine, and he was born in Ukraine, but I think his family was residing in Canada, so he naturally picked up that Canadian accent. He used to have a really, really Ukrainian accent, but basically he does these videos, gaming videos, where be that Marvel games or like any game really, right? But most of it, like, it's not really any game really. It's just like, I guess, like the games that you would play if you were just really into a certain thing. So if you were into Lego games, or you were into Marvel games, that is the kind of guy he does. But also he does actually do some commentary as well. But majority of the time I remember just him doing all of those Lego games and that kind of thing. So he is just one of those YouTubers that does that. And there was also, Dan TDM, obviously. Don't need to explain that, because those are just Minecraft YouTubers, and they just... But there is also... Oh, wait, there's actually this one YouTuber that I watch, right? He is a gaming YouTuber, Ali A. Right, Ali A. I remember actually watching him a lot, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, guys, look back to the video. In today's video, we're gonna be playing Fortnite, right? Call of Duty." Oh yeah, there's Call of Duty YouTubers. We'll get to that in a second. But he was just this guy that did those kind of things. But I'm not saying he's like a horrible person, but it's just like, he's like, "Oh my gosh, guys, I just found out you could beat Iron Man in Fortnite." Right? And he has all these insane thumbnails with the arrows and stuff. It's interesting. It's interesting. You have all these YouTubers that do clickbaity sort of stuff where they're like, "Oh my gosh, guys, I just got this thing in Fortnite," but they don't actually. They just do this for the clicks and the fame, because there's a lot of YouTubers that do that. They just do it for the clicks, they do it for the fame and stuff. So definitely, there definitely is that. It is wild. I know so many YouTubers, isn't there? So many YouTubers. This platform has been around for 15 years now, 16, 17 years. It's just like, yeah, it's really crazy. It's really, really crazy. So there's there is that, right? Is there any YouTubers that I've gotten into like recently? Like, is there any YouTubers that I've gotten into that? Or there's anime YouTubers, isn't there? I talked about that, yeah. The Anime Man, Sea-Dog VA, Garn. Those were the guys that run Trash Taste. Right, the guys that run Trash Taste. They do all that anime stuff. The funny thing is, right, the Anime Man doesn't even talk about anime, right, anymore. Well, he doesn't really watch anime, but he doesn't, he just tries to branch out. And I understand it, right, because when you just get into something so much, right, to the point where if you make videos about the same old thing, it's just going to come to that point where you don't actually want to do it anymore, which is understandable. Because I actually remember when I used to make anime videos, right, I used to make them so dang much to the point where I found myself just getting bored of it. So whenever I just stopped, I really just stopped actually caring about it, right? And I mean, I don't watch anime as much as I used to, but I definitely think if I made an anime podcast, right, let's just put that into perspective, right? If I made this anime podcast where I only talked about anime, you know what is going to happen, right? It's going to get so boring, so that's why I cover different topics. But yeah, back to Anime Man. Whew, man, such a big rambler indeed. So yeah, he's just a guy that talks about anime, really, and that is his whole Gestapo. That's his whole thing, I guess. And Jan's the same thing, talking about anime. CWVA does these voice acting videos. Very, very fun. Very, very fun. Wait, I just realised that I actually went down a giant history YouTube rabbit hole like I'm share a story. My friend Manraj mentioned him to be absolutely amazing. Right, oversimplified. Right, there was these few YouTubers that I got into. Oversimplified. That's the recent in the last year. I don't watch them as much because I actually got burnt out. Right, I got really burnt out. Right, I just watched so much history videos, and I actually got to the point where I actually knew a lot. It got to the point where I got really into Russian history, which is quite crazy, isn't it? Right, it's really crazy how I got really into Russian history because of this. I got really into Russian history, and what happened was I ended up knowing a lot about Russian history because, like, I think YouTube videos are really good, right? Sometimes, like, if it's very informative stuff, it's like it's gonna tell you everything you need to know, and it's like really, really on point. And it's like, yeah, I know the facts. Yeah, I know what's going on, right? I know what's going on, and it tells you that. It's like, well, that's fascinating, and it's really useful because there is actually these tip channels as well. Like Linus Tech Tips. I don't really watch him that much. He's that computer guy. He gives you all these tech tips, stuff like that. But you have like 5-minute crafts, and he talks about, he just showed you how to do these 5-minute crafts, right? And that was actually the reason why removing the dislike button on YouTube is a dumb idea, right? Because YouTubers and stuff like that like 5-minute crafts definitely should like if we do like because if you delete because like if you delete the dislike button, right, like the dislike button wasn't a bad, like the dislike button was never a bad idea, but the 5-minute crafts, right, you have those videos, right, and it's really liked, right, that's a good reason to remove the dislike button. That's not a dumb idea. I shouldn't have said that, but it was a dumb idea anyway. But yeah, man, honestly, there is like the like 5-minute crafts is like a YouTuber that really, 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 really just does that. And there's another tip channel called vidIQ. I'm watching him a lot. He does tips as well. I don't know why I did that. He does tips as well, and he talks about how to grow your YouTube channel. Those people are amazing. I think like you should give him a shout out, right? Go subscribe to vidIQ, guys, because he just gives you a lot of tips, and there is a lot of channels that do that, right? So you've sort of discovered my taste, haven't you? You've discovered that I'm really into I was really into gaming YouTubers, really into those big YouTubers, stuff like that. I mean, there is vlogging channels as well. Like, yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, man. The freaking the thing I just forgot about, right? Reaction channels. Reaction channels. Yeah, you just react to something. Yeah, reactions. Yeah, PewDiePie did some reactions. Actually, I mean, reaction channels, right? My thoughts on reaction channels, man. Like my taste in what's my taste on reaction videos, right? Okay, I don't actually mind it when people react to things. It's just the exaggeration that, you know, when you make a trend out, people reacting to something, it's like, really, dude. Like, do we really want to see these people reacting to something? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You're excited about a movie. I get it. You're excited about this game, but really, man, I mean, you can do it if you want, but it's just not like my thing. I used to watch reaction videos a lot, but I wouldn't say it's like my thing. I would do myself personally. I wouldn't. But yeah, man. I hope you enjoyed the episode. That's my taste in YouTubers. It's very interesting to hear me talk about it, isn't it? Because yeah, man, I have watched YouTube for a very long time, and it's really just it is interesting as well. And I talked about Moist Critical, but really all of that's going to lead to is he is just this YouTuber that he was just this YouTuber that talks about things. Like, there is a lot of those. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to check us on Spotify. You know the drill, right? 30 episodes, whatever deep. So yeah, you already get the gist, don't you, baby? Baby. See you next week. Special guest stuff. We're going to have a very special guest on. As this comes out, this will be next week. Because right now, as I'm recording this, I actually recorded this episode like just after the new review, the episode. So yeah, I'm gonna end this right. I just wanted to make this longer because it was kind of like I should have made it a bit longer because there's a lot to talk about YouTubers. So yeah, bye.